I have news for you. 95% of the people you talk to are not going to want what you have to offer. Okay, fine. But we're here for the 5. And ideally, we're here for more than that. See, the better you get at communicating, the more comfortable you become at communicating, the more people you're going to be able to touch, the more you're going to be able to help. And what happens is your confidence rises, your fear of being rejected decreases, your sense of being an imposter disappears because you realize, you know what, I do have value, and I do help people, and you know what, you should follow me, and you should do what I'm asking me to do, because if you do it, your life is going to get better, and I know it, and I know it more than you know it, so that's my job, to help explain that to you and wake you up. But it takes a little effort, though. It takes getting past this fear, right? Here's this woman, Kelly Coffey, was a client of mine. Kelly's a really amazing woman. Kelly actually used to she weighed 25 or 350 pounds. She was morbidly obese for years, and she kept trying all these diets and all these weight loss things. And at some point, she became aware that it was shame issues that she had, and it was body image, and it was like all the psychology that went on. And once she fixed that, she was able to become the beautiful woman that she is right now. Now, Kelly runs a group. It's called Strong Coffee. StrongCoffee.com is her site. And she coaches other challenged women to help them have a better positive body image and to improve themselves. And she is absolutely committed to it. In the depths of her soul, she just wants to help these women do it. But all the things that led her to be overweight kind of didn't just completely disappear. How many of you get that? Right? And so she still had some that imposter syndrome I was talking about. So Kelly and I kind of worked, and I had the same conversation I had with Walter. These women need you. You're not serving them by not selling to them. If they don't know you, they can't what? Yeah, and if they don't flow you, if they're not going to pay you for it, if something's worth nothing, what is it worth? If you've got no skin in the game, you're not really committed to your success. And Kelly wanted these women to succeed. I said, Kelly, we have to start charging. You need more confidence. And we worked on Kelly. And for Kelly, she had a great presentation style. She had some great skills. She was unbelievably personal, and you could feel her heart was in it. And all we had to do was kind of get her past that block. Her sales increased 600%. 600%. She says that's 6 times more women I helped, 6 times more money I make, and 6 times more fun, because she loved doing that. Kind of cool, right? And you can do the same thing. So let's get back to horseback riding. So now we're clip-clopping along. It's like 10 minutes, and we haven't even gotten outside of the property yet. So now I hear Lisa's in front of me. It's just, again, Spencer, Lisa, and then me. And we're riding on our horses, and she goes, hey, Spencer, can we let the horses trot? Now, for those of you not familiar with horseback riding, trotting is like that middle speed. It's not the walking, it's not the running, it's somewhere in the middle. It's kind of like jogging, right? But here's something most people don't realize. When a horse trots, they move up and down almost as much as they move forward. So we all start, like, yeah, sure, we can go trotting, right? So this guy Spencer's like 19 years old. He's like, yeah, do whatever you want. Go ahead, let's trot, right? So we start trotting. Now, all the horses start moving up and down, and all the riders are on top of all the horses, and they're moving up and down. Now, I'm on top of King. King is bigger than the other horses. He's moving up and down more than the other horses are moving. I'm on top of King. I'm bigger than all the other people. I'm moving up and down more than the other riders. Unfortunately, a lot of King's ups coincided with some of my downs, resulting in a very unpleasant union of man and beast. And that's when I learned that, in that moment exactly, that's when I learned my second lesson about horseback riding in life. Mediocrity is a pain in the ass. It was true of horseback riding, and it's true about life. When you dabble, when you just try something, and when you don't get fully involved, What happens is you make all the mistakes, and what tends to happen is you make them just like riding that horse over and over and over and over and over again. And you'd think you'd freaking learn eventually. But a lot of people never get there, and they struggle. This is, everybody says the opposite of success is failure. I don't think so. I think the opposite of success is mediocrity. Because at least failure, you're done. You can relax. With mediocrity, every day is a freaking struggle, trying to handle the same problems over and over and over again because you never got the information you needed to make a different choice. And you get stuck in your own tunnel vision, making the same mistake again and again and again. I sit almost every room that I've ever sat out in, and this room might be the exception because I know the influence that Walter's had on you and his organization. But in every room, I go, listen, if you think back to 5 years ago, how much money you made, where you lived, what kind of car you drove, where you went traveling, I'd be willing to bet it was just about the same as it is right now. Because you're stuck. If what you want is vastly different than what you've got, you can't keep making the same decisions. That's what mediocrity is. It's about making a tough choice. It's about learning some new skills. And really, I think communication is a massive part of that, a massive component of what's going on, so that you understand how to communicate your value. And here's the really cool thing about that. When you learn how to talk to other people about what you do, you start to believe it yourself. When you get clear about the value you can deliver, and you can clearly explain what that value is, the person it becomes the most clear to is you. People learn by doing. Learn how to communicate your value. Learn how to explain what you do. Learn how to explain how you can help. Walter said it this morning, and I thought it was really great. People are concerned about WIIFM. What's in it for me? You've got to be able to take what you do. See, we all have our own agenda in this world. Our own agenda to increase our wealth, our own agenda to serve. By the way, when I had lunch yesterday with you guys, some amazing people with visions for this world that were much higher than just themselves. And I'm going to suggest that each of you find something that you can attach yourself to, something that's bigger than you, to give you that support that you need. So why do people get stuck in this mediocrity? Why do they not move forward with that? And I think mediocre communication and mediocre responses in life are due to a lot of things. And it's a lot of, especially with communication, it's lack. There's a lack of your ability to build rapport with people. Understanding your own, by the way, as part of the program that he was doing, I was so cool when you heard it, because I forgot that you had mentioned that was in there. Your disc profile. Understanding what your own profile is critical to your ability to communicate with others, because we all think different ways. I coach with people, and when I do work with them, I am a driver. I make shit happen, and it almost always goes my way. Like when people go, what do you want, what movie should we go see? I tell them what movie I want to see. And that's the movie that we see. Because that's just my personality. That's the way I roll. But when I'm coaching with people, when I'm working with people, I go, listen, how do you like feedback? Because I want it to land, right? I want that rapport. I want that ability for us to interact with one another. You have to be aware of not only your own personality style, but being aware of what other people's personality style will allow you to communicate at a higher level. And higher communication means higher conveyance of value. Higher conveyance of value means increased sales. Increased sales means everybody's smiling on a jet ski tomorrow. Kind of fun, right? The other problem is a lack of structure. Speaking is a skill. It's not an inborn talent. I didn't come out of my mother's womb and start, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I will be here in the hospital for the next 3 days. Try the veal. It didn't come out like that. And I will tell you, I am extremely, or let's just say I was extremely shy. I am by nature an introvert, not a peer. But in public, in private, I am like nearly a hermit. I could live at home by myself with Cody, my little 7-month-old schnauzer, and not talk to another human being for 2 weeks, happy as a clam. It's just my personality is a little introverted. I'm also good at this. I also like this, but I like it in short doses. I don't want to be the center of attention at a party all the time. I'll do it if I need to, but it's not my general nature. But understanding where you are. Now, becoming a speaker was a process for me. It took years. At this point, I have over 12,000 hours on stages in front of people. 12,000. I've been on every single continent in this world, with the exception of Antarctica. By the way, I'm putting together a collection of extremely wealthy, happy people who want to go to Antarctica and learn and be in the coolest freaking place on earth. If you want to join me, we'll connect, all right? Yeah, hands are raised, and we can do that one day. But here's the deal. Speaking requires structure. Now, do you see me following notes right now? No, but I understand the structure. When Walter and I were working together, he's got some really great information, but how that information comes out needed just a little bit of structure. And Walter is successful and was successful and will continue to be successful really because of one thing, his heart, which is huge, right? He's got the skill. He's got the knowledge. His group, all these guys, these are people that have done it. They're not theoreticians. They are people that have succeeded in the real world, and they're sharing their information with you. My job and my privilege is to help share a little bit of the structure on how that information gets out so that it lands a little bit better. Walter's doing a phenomenal job, isn't he? Give him a big round of applause. The other part is lack of direction, right? People don't know what they want to say or what is your goal of a communication, right? What is it that you want to accomplish? And what the biggest challenge is that not that you don't have a direction. What's the biggest challenge? That you have too many, right? You've got too many things going on. You've got too many directions that you want to go in. And because of that, your communication becomes muddled. Your communication becomes diffused. Your communication becomes confusing. And your communication becomes ineffective. You have to decide what it is that you want to say. You have to decide what outcome you want them to have. You have to decide what the end result that you want is, and then reverse engineer the communication. And I'm not talking about being structured. I am anything but structured. What comes out of my mouth is just what I feel like saying right now. But underpinning that is a structure. I know that there are some points that I want to share with you today. I know there's a direction that I want to move you in today. I know that there's some nuggets of information that I want to share with you today. I knew what I wanted to accomplish at the end of this morning, and then I kind of figured out how to get back into it and how to guide you along that path and kind of get you on board. How am I doing, by the way? So far, so good? Woo! All right. And finally is lack of confidence. Listen, I get it. Now, by the way, where are the people that want to be where I'm standing right now? You want to be on the front of the room. You freaking narcissists. That's cool, though. But for those of you that don't, you should at least be comfortable. If you ever got called up in a second, you should be able to come up here and explain what you do. See, it's kind of like, people talk about the elevator pitch, your 30-second pitch. I think you need to have a 30-minute pitch. You have to be able to, you should be able to say it clearly. Listen, I help businesses and investors talk about their businesses. That's what I do. And I'm really fucking good at it, by the way. What do you do? You should be able to tell me that really quickly. But the other thing is you should be able to stand in front of a room and for 30 minutes explain to me, by the way, let everybody lean in a little bit. I want to lean in. Nobody, repeat after me, nobody gives a shit about what I do. Good job. Give your neighbor a high five. Say, good job. I got news for you. No matter how cool you are, no matter how much value you've got, no matter how awesome it is, nobody cares about what you do. Nobody. Here's what they care about. They care about how what you do is going to change their life. Stop telling people what you do. Start telling them how you're going to improve their lives. Start telling them about how what you do will make a difference for their family. How what you do will put more money in their bank. How what you do will give them peace of mind. Those are the things that people want to hear about. The big problem with communication is that people talk about the features, as I call it, what they do, instead of the benefits, which is how what you do affects me. Because who do I care about? I care about me. I'll make no bones about it. I'm all about me, right? Unless I'm not. In this moment, I'm not about me. But if you meet me elsewhere, if I'm looking for business opportunities, that's great. You know, I don't really care about you. I care about, can you help me? Everybody you meet is feeling that same way. They have that same thought going on in their head. How do you help them? And if you want to get good at that, if you want to avoid the pain, if you want to stop having the same problems over and over and over and over and over and over again, you've got to change your skill level, your communication strategies, the way you communicate what you do. And here's what, Walter was talking about, you find the right disc personality and you get them on your team because some people just want to help you all the time. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe that's their predisposition. But if you have a mission that they can get behind and you've explained it in a way that they feel it as well, then will they get behind you. And if you explain what you do and you get them excited to help be part of the same mission that you're on, maybe that mission is just to make money for right now. Maybe that mission is to create an adoption agency or adoption system that we were talking about with one of the gentlemen yesterday. Whatever that is for you, communicate it, but get good at doing that and learn the strategies to do that. And by the way, the more you talk, the more confident you'll become.